Right guys, how are we? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we look at 94 on the list, number 94 on the list of the NFL's top 100 players in 2023. It's Terry McLaurin, wide receiver for the Commanders, an offensive player. It's always an exciting one in my book, either a running back, quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. Hey, I'm a back in the game of rugby union, and I would be an offensive player in the game of American football. That's just me. There's some people out there that much prefer being on defense, being like a homing missile out there, seeing a target and destroying. I like to have the ball in my hands, see a target, the target being a hole in the defense, and try and destroy it that way. Either way, we will start with some stats for the big man Terry McLaurin. And there he is. He's a rookie. He's a baby. He's 27 years of age. 6 foot, 210 pounds. Went to Ohio State. Got picked up by the Washington Commanders in the third round, 76th overall of the 2019 NFL draft. So he got picked up at age 23. He must have had a fairly comprehensive college career. And being that I am on Pro Football Reference, it's not going to show me those stats, is it? Oh well, we move on. So he's played 4 seasons, all for Washington, 63 total games, 299 total receptions for 4,281 yards, averaging 14.3 per reception. He's got 21 total receiving touchdowns. And to think he's got over 4,000 yards through 4 years, there's only been 1 year that he hasn't made 1,000. That was in his rookie year. He made 919 yards. Last year he made 1,191 yards, which is indeed the most in any particular year. He had 7 rushing attempts last year for 29 yards and no touchdowns. So he's certainly a wide receiver through and through. And let's see what his fellow players thought of him.
Create a list where the results are a direct reflection from the peers, I think is as close to accurate as you can get.
Oh, so that's him. So he's talking about the list overall as an entity, as a method of ranking players. That's what makes this list mean that much more than any other list that could ever be created on NFL players, because this one is voted by the players. That's why I was attracted to it originally, and that's why I keep coming back, because this is the list. This is it. And the respect that these players need to have from their fellow peers to even have a chance of making this list, it means a hell of a lot.
If you were going one-on-one, I'm betting on Terry all day long.
Terry McLaurin is making his first top 100 appearance. It's scary he hasn't been on it sooner.
Wow. He's outrunning defenders. He's outrunning defensive backs whilst turning his head the opposite direction. That takes some skill.
Come on, man!
That's so clean. I don't think you'll get a more clean touchdown than that.
Damn, sorry ass. Hang on there, man. You can't cover me. Let me wear him out.
That's my guy, Terry McLaurin. He's a guy who I feel like he still doesn't get the credit that he deserves. He makes plays every week.
Touchdown! Touchdown!
I can't say that I've ever seen him play. And that's another reason why I love this series. It brings to light players that, well, if you're only following certain teams, you're never going to see them. You're never going to... Oh, that's not completely true. I'm just really slack. But either way, gives me an opportunity to get brought up to speed prior to the oncoming season.
16-yard touchdown to Terry McLaurin!
If I see him one-on-one and
Hang on, what is that guy holding?
The 16-yard touchdown
A fucking satellite dish? What the heck is that? It's got to be something to do with sound, right? Is that a microphone? I think that's a microphone in the middle of it. In the middle of a dome. Freestyler. Straight from the top of my dome.
if I see him one-on-one and I know I'm getting blitzed, he's getting the ball. Just give him a shot because, again, he continues to make the plays.
And it is caught! What a catch by McLaurin! Finds McLaurin on a crossing route, breaks through a tackle, 45-40, 35-30, plenty of space for the 35, and knocked down at the Colts.
I can't remember his size. Can't remember his stats. What did we What do we say? 6 foot 210. 6 foot 210 pounds. Let's have a look at his combine measurements. 4.35 for the 40-yard dash. What an absolute weapon. 18 reps on the bench press. 10 foot 5 on the broad jump. 37.5 on the vertical. 4.35 on the 40-yard dash. He weighed in at 208 pounds on the day. He's put on 2 pounds in 4 years, believe it or not. That is elite speed, bro. That is dangerous. Doesn't matter what position you play.
Terry McLaurin, he just so.
He's called Scary Terry.
What?
And while Jair Alexander terrorized other top 100 receivers, McLaurin got the best of his fellow top 100 player.
McLaurin's your top guy. That's why Ja is on him. Coverage not bad.
You get a one-on-one situation with your best player on their top corner. He's a special player.
See, and that's interesting, right? It's the work on the field that goes unnoticed sometimes that is the most impressive. And it is, for example, just making successful catches against one of the best defensive backs in the league. That is a real success in a game. I mean, that is a great performance. Just making catches. You don't need to score touchdowns. You don't need to have massive runs. Just making catches when you're marked up against one of the best defensive backs in the league. What that does, I mean, what you're doing your job, but you're also opening up other wide receivers who are marked by lesser defensive backs. It's all, you might only get 50 receiving yards, but if you get 10 successful catches against the best defensive back on that team, that means a lot.
Yes, he is.
That game, I was not locked in. I wasn't locked in that game. Well, no. I was locked in, but I wasn't locked in. You know what I'm saying? To the highest, you know.
No, I sorry, mate. I no.
Man, I gotta clarify that. I got to.
Is there one catch from Terry's this year that sticks out for you?
This year?
This would be interesting from the perspective of a running back.
It's a lot of them, but I would have to say the Colts game, back at his hometown. Game was on the line, and when Heineke threw it up, I was like, oh yeah, Terry got it. I don't think you want to doubt him too much on those. I want to say the DB caught it first, and Terry snatched it from him on the 1 yard line. That put us in a game-winning situation right there.
It's not enough to just take a catch, is it? You got to absolutely own the catch.
Just one of those guys, consistent, non-stop. One of those guys who plays from start to finish and doesn't come out much. And, when that ball's up in the air, he's going to get it. So he definitely got to be on there if you ask me.
He's one of those guys that really doesn't have too much of a weakness.
27 years of age, 4th year in the league, first appearance on the list. 6 foot, 210 pounds. Okay. Where would I put him? The final thing we need to do is put him in a rugby team. I would put him in the corresponding position on a rugby field that he plays in the game of American football. I would put him in at wing, especially with that type of speed. You give this guy the ball in some space and just watch. Watch in wonder. 4.35, was it? 4.37? 4.35 for the 40-yard dash. That is a winger through and through. He's not going to be the heaviest winger, but he's certainly not going to be the lightest. He's still got enough bulk in, 210 pounds at 6 foot to really, break through some tackles. And at that speed, he's going to break tackles anyway. So I'm going to put him on the wing, be that right or left. Depends on, which foot he prefers stepping off. You don't want to go out in the game of rugby, right? Whereas as a wide receiver in the game of American football, it's quite normal to actually go out on purpose. So you're going to be running along the sideline, but you don't want to go out. So you're going to be stepping off either your right foot if you're on the right-hand sideline or the left foot if you're on the left-hand sideline. And so if he prefers stepping off his right, I'd put him on the right. If he prefers stepping off his left, I'd put him on the left. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.